All right, this is the definitive Sevendust album tier list. So I spent the past couple days, past like 3 days, listening to every single Sevendust CD in chronological order. So from self-titled up, actually the way that it is in this tier list. And I decided, man, I haven't made a video in a while. Let's do this. So a little bit of important information. My favorite band of all time is Sevendust. So this is going to be a little biased towards the positive. That's okay. So we got it ranked S to D here. D tier doesn't necessarily mean bad, by the way. Just something has to be at the bottom, right? And something has to be at the top. These are all going to be compared to each other, not necessarily to other bands and to other albums. But yeah, I guess we'll start off with self-titled Sevendust. And of course, very fitting, we're gonna put that right there. I would hope that most bands are like this, where they have just consistently gotten better over time. And so their first album naturally is going to probably be their worst, because they've had, 18, 20 years, something like that, to work on their sound. And the self-titled is definitely a standout in a unique way, where it has a lot of weird rapping and nu metal type stuff. I definitely think this CD of all of them fits the nu metal, I'm doing air quotes here, the nu metal label more than anything else. But of course, self-titled Sevendust has some bangers, has what probably is everybody's first introduction to this band, with the songs, oh my god, what the cut that out, with the songs Black or Bitch or Too Close to Hate, any of those, all from self-titled, all good songs too, even though not my favorite. All right, next up, Home. All right, let's see. Gotta actually take a look here. Spotify, 1999. Jeez, I was 8 years old when the CD came out. That's just insane. So we're looking here. Home is a very long CD, 13 songs. Jeez, but 13 songs in only 41 minutes. That's interesting. There are some good songs on here for sure. Bender, it's a great song. Head Trip, I really like a lot. I think it's pretty underrated. Denial is also a great song. But I'm looking at the rest of it, and they're just kind of, some of these are weird. Like Feel So it's a cool song, but it's very strange. Grasshopper, I mean, it's an 8-second song. It's not really a song per se. I'm gonna switch back over here. I'm gonna put Home here, and this is gonna represent our base of improvement, let's say. Home is a good CD as well, but a lot of it, like we just saw, is a lot of weird songs that aren't necessarily, in my opinion, too memorable. But next up is where we get into what actually started Sevendust being one of my favorite bands, and that would be Animosity here. Animosity is just immediately going up there. There's so much goodness on this CD. If we go to the track list really quick, I mean, TOAB stands for Tits on the Boar, if you didn't know. This is a great way to start a CD. It's a great way to send a message as well. The first line being "Die, you piece of shit." It's so angry for a band that's not generally that angry. And then you got two of their more prominent hits with Praise. Trust was a single, I do believe, but not quite as popular as Praise. Then you got alright, my apologies, I had to go yeet my smoke detector. I swear that has never happened in the 20 plus years I've been here. I've never heard this smoke alarm beep, but of course now what S plus? Get out of here. No. Discord. Yes. All right. What was I talking about? Animosity? Yeah, we're looking at this. Great songs all around the board. Live Again, definitely my favorite song from the CD. Angel Sun is also a standout, of course. Very sad but beautiful song. Animosity, great CD. Now we get to Seasons. This is going to be a spoiler, probably for the rest of the video, but Seasons, it's almost like they're fitting with the first letter of their name. Seasons, there's just everything about the CD is great, right? Seasons. Disease, great song. Enemy is probably the most well-known Sevendust song. I don't know about the rest of the country, the United States, the rest of the world, but definitely here in Minnesota on our rock radio station 93X, they played Enemy back in the day pretty much once or twice an hour for like years, literal years. But besides Enemy, you got the song Seasons itself, which is just amazing. Broken Down, great song. Separate and Honesty, just like this whole first part of it, banger. Skeleton Song, one of the few slow songs that I actually like. I'm not a huge fan of slow songs to begin with, but Skeleton Song is a great acoustic song to put in the middle to break up the CD a little bit. And then you got Gone. Gone is definitely my, like, if I had to put five, like a top five for Sevendust, Gone is definitely going to be in there. I don't know where it would be, but it's definitely in there. The only thing about Seasons that I have is Face to Face. I have a really bad memory of this song. Got scarred when I was on a cruise ship, and I was like maybe 11 years old, maybe younger, and I like fell for a girl that I met on the cruise ship. Wasn't even from the US. I don't know what I was thinking, where it was gonna go, but she ended up turning me down. I think this is like my first memory of rejection, and for some reason the song Face to Face by Sevendust was playing, and that song is forever tied to that memory. So yeah. All right, next we have, well, the CD Next. I would say that Next is probably on a lot of people. Do you mind? Jesus. I would say Next is probably somewhere at the bottom of most people's lists if I had to take a guess. But going through all these CDs in order, going through Next and then hearing stuff after it, Next is actually not that bad. But it's not that great also. Again, nothing on here is like truly unlistenable, but you look at the track list of Next. Hero is a cool song. Ugly is a cool song. Yeah, but beyond that, they're all kind of middling, I would say. And then this begins a trend that was pretty apparent in some of the previous Sevendust CDs. I did touch on it a little bit with Animosity, but Hero is a great way to start the CD, but Shadows in Red, I feel, is a pretty weak way to end the CD. Overall, I think Next, again, not bad, not one of my favorites. It's probably somewhere close with Home in that regard. All right, after Next, we have Alpha. Alpha. It's great CD. Death Star is a really cool way to start the CD. Really powerful energy right off the bat. Not spending any intros, anything like that. Now, this is interesting. On the Spotify version of Alpha, the track list is actually different than the one that I had when I actually bought the CD. So Driven, which was also a single, by the way, Driven was third. Death Star and Clueless were first and second, but Driven was third, and everything else was put down. And if we're going off of the original track list, I would say that Alpha, the song itself, is probably one of the best enders of an album that Sevendust has. I don't know why this is like this, where they put Driven at the end, but either way, Driven is a great song. For a while, at least up to this point, Under and Feed were two of my favorite Sevendust songs up to this point. So Alpha is definitely good, but a lot of the other ones are just strange. I would say maybe like some experimental type stuff, like Confessions of Hatred. The whole verse is like this weird low spoken rap type thing. Burn is a 9-minute song. I believe the only one of Sevendust songs that is like over 5 minutes long, if I'm not mistaken. But all in all, Burn is pretty cool. But yeah, like Aggression, gonna be honest, don't really recall it right off the bat. If I played it, I'm sure I would know it right away, but you know, DMCA and all that. Alpha, I have really, really good memories of it, but like going through the track list, there are some songs that are kind of middling, so I think Alpha is going to be holding it down right here in the middle. It's the kind of baseline Sevendust. All right, Chapter 7, Hope and Sorrow. This was the one Sevendust CD that I didn't give a whole lot of attention and time back when it came out, but going through it now, it is probably also the most experimental, the most different out of all of them. But looking at the track list, nothing really stands out except Prodigal Son. I remember Prodigal Son was also a single off of the CD, but looking at the numbers, the play numbers, I would say the CD probably wasn't their best hit. Didn't do a whole lot for them. I'm glad they got to keep going after this, but Chapter 7 is, not that great. I would say it's probably on the same level of Home and Next here. It's not the weird, I don't know, 90s, like, what is it, 97 or something like that, when Self-Titled came out. It's not that. It definitely has its own merits, and it does one thing, and that is transition Sevendust into their more modern sound. I would say this is definitely the transition album. Beforehand, we had the style that was definitely, again, using a local reference, but 93X radio rock, and I'm not using radio rock in the negative sense that it can sometimes be taken as, literally just, hard rock that you would hear on the radio. It's not quite heavy enough for people to not play it, but it's not light enough where it'll get played on just mainstream radio. And that took Chapter 7 took them from that type of sound into the more almost metalcore style that all of these afterwards, with the exception of this one, follow. So we do have Chapter 7 to look or to thank for that. All right, so now we have Cold Day Memory. This one actually shocked me when I was going through it. Cold Day Memory, Splinter, phenomenal start to a CD. Forever, Unraveling, Last Breath, all great songs. I remember watching a live studio video of Lejean doing the verse part of Unraveling, and I was like, dude, this song sounds sick. It was one of the first videos I remember watching of like a pre-release in studio footage for Sevendust, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited. And then you get to Karma, and Karma, I might say this a lot during this video, I might have already said it, I don't remember, but Karma is probably the best song they've ever written, I think, definitely. Now, right after Karma is Ride Insane. This is the weak song on the CD, I think, but then Confessions, fantastic. Nowhere, Here and Now, The End Is Coming, so good. Better Place, probably the second best song on the CD for me personally, and Strong Arm Broken is again in contention for one of the best endings of a Sevendust CD. I would say it's right up there with Alpha, the song. Cold Day Memory, all in all, is just a banger from start to finish. And when I was initially looking through all of the CDs, Cold Day Memory is just one that I kind of glossed over in my memory. But going back and listening to everything, Cold Day Memory is definitely just, it's up there. It's up there with Seasons. It's definitely after Seasons. I would say with Cold Day Memory, I like all of the songs pretty well. I would say all of these songs are a 7 or 8 out of 10, with Karma being like a 9, Better Place being like a 9, Strong Arm being somewhere close to that. But the difference with Cold Day Memory and Seasons is that Seasons has songs that are just 10 out of 10s. Not every single one is 10 out of 10, but the ones that are, it's like they're kind of untouchable for me. Gone, 10 out of 10. No debate. Seasons, the song, Separate, Broken Down, 10 out of 10s. No debate. Now, while you have things like Disgrace, which might be like 6, you know, Face to Face, because of my own personal things, might be like a 6. It's got higher mountains, so to speak. Black Out the Sun. Black Out the Sun. I remember pretty vividly buying this album. I was actually in a different state at the time. I bought this album in California, I believe, and I was with my mom, and we stopped at this music store, this like electronic store. It was huge, this huge electronic store. And I remember I had some money of my own. I don't know how I got it. So I was like 14 and didn't have a job or anything. So I don't know how I had money of my own, but I went into this electronic store and I bought 3 albums. I bought wait, how old was I actually? I might be lying, but I wasn't. 2013. I don't know, can't do math on the fly, but I was young. I bought this CD. I bought Faction, I believe, this CD called by a band called Faction, Faktion. Yeah, this right here. The CD is not even on here, dude. That's so sad. It might not be that, but that's how the band's name was spelled. And then I bought this CD by Yellowcard. Oh God. I bought Lights and Sounds by Yellowcard. Those are the three CDs I bought. But we're not talking about them. Black Out the Sun. I remember what's the first song is, well, technically it's like Memory or something like that, I think. Let's go back to the discography. This also, by the way, how do you guys feel about this new Spotify? I don't know. Yeah, it's Memory. Okay. I don't know how I feel about this new Spotify. The Faithless, -1. This also was not on the version that I had. -1? I don't know what that means. Mine was just called Faithless, but wow. It's a long CD. 13 songs. Well, 12. Memory is not really a song. Faithless, really cool song. Till Death, really cool. Mountain, looking at it, probably one of the best songs on this CD for sure. But then for me, it kind of peters out. Picture Perfect is cool. Got a Feeling, slow song. Not feeling it. No pun intended. But and then Murder Bar, weirdly enough, not as cool as the name makes it sound. Even though I think it has a cool story behind why it's called Murder Bar. Cool little homage to some of the weird names of the past, like Bender and Waffle and Rumblefish, which might be the same song. I don't know. I know they have a song called Rumblefish. I think the other name for it was Ass Drop. Yeah, Ass Drop. I had the version that was called Ass Drop of that song. But Black Out the Sun, let's put Black Out the Sun here with Alpha. Yeah, I think it's somewhere close to Alpha. All right, Time Travelers and Bonfires. This one was one I completely skipped. Not gonna lie, I skipped it because I thought it was just another like Southside Double Wide acoustic version of songs that we already knew, and I was half right. Half of it is acoustic versions of past songs. But the other half is 6 new acoustic songs. And the cool thing about this is that while they're played, at least the rhythm parts are played on acoustic guitars, the song structures and the actual feel of the songs is exactly the same of any Sevendust CD. It just happens to be played on acoustic guitars. And there are still like electric guitar solos, there's still full drum kit. I believe still an electric bass. So everything still feels like Sevendust. It doesn't feel like they stripped everything away to make it into an acoustic album. It just feels like they were like, hey, we only have acoustic guitars. Or maybe they forgot their distortion pedals at home and decided we're gonna record this instead. Either way, the 6 new songs on this CD are actually really, really good. As far as acoustic songs themselves, I think The Wait, I believe that's what the song is called. Yeah, The Wait, this one right here, probably one of their better acoustic songs. It's really, really good. I would advise listening to this song at the very least, if you skipped it like I did. And then of course you got Gone, man. My favorite song, probably. I don't know, I'd have to think about that. But you got Gone and Karma and Black for those of you who like the song Black. I'm not a huge fan of the song Black. And trust, they picked some really, really good songs to go back to and do acoustic. So Time Travelers and Bonfires, I think it's really good. I think it's very, very much worth listening to. And I'm gonna put that up here with Animosity. All right, Kill the Flaw. Kill the Flaw, I have a unique memory of this. This was weirdly enough, for my favorite band of all time. I've only ever seen them once, and my experience of seeing them was pretty bad. They weren't bad. It was just everything else about the show was bad. The crowd was horrible. The venue, not bad, but it was a venue that personally I had not been on the crowd side. I had played at this venue a couple of times in my band, but actually being in the crowd with a sold out show, I had not experienced that. And experiencing it for the first time was a nightmare. And so me and my girlfriend at the time, my best friend and his girlfriend, all went to see the show, and we had to actually dip out halfway through because there was just no etiquette to the pit at all. It was just shit everywhere, like cups and glass and booze and bullshit all over the ground, crowd surfers kicking people in the face on purpose. Yeah, just a bunch of shit like that, and it just wasn't trying to happen. I was trying to see the band, man, and I get being in the pit, and I get that like you're gonna get hit in the pit, but come on, dude, we weren't in the pit. We were actually up at the front, right at the front, right at the gate. But yeah, anyway, they were touring Kill the Flaw. That's the point that I was trying to get to. And Kill the Flaw, not because of that show, has a bad memory to it, but going back through it, there are some really good songs on Kill the Flaw. Thank You is actually one of the better ones. Not usually the case where the flagship single is actually one of the better songs, but Thank You is a really good song. Chop is really, really cool. Cease and Desist is a very cool song as well, but then I get through the rest of it and I'm like, these aren't as cool as I remember them being. They're cool, they're good songs. Sevendust, for better or for worse, a lot of their stuff does sound pretty similar. So as long as they don't deviate from the formula too much, they can't really go wrong. It's kind of like remaking the same sound over and over. And since I happen to be a big fan of their sound, they just keep doing the same thing. It's gonna work for me to some level at the very least. But Kill the Flaw, I'm actually not that big of a fan of this CD compared to the rest of them, going back and listening through everything. So I would say, but then looking at the tier list, it's not on the same level of Home and Next in Chapter 7. It's definitely better than those. So I think I'm gonna put it here with Alpha and Blackout the Sun. Yeah, that seems right. All right, All I See Is War. This actually blows my mind that All I See Is War came out 3 years ago now. It's crazy. Well, depending on when it came out in 2018, but you know, basically 3 years ago. I could have swore that this came out like last year, but then again, nothing really happened last year. Now, did it? Dirty, great song. Unforgiven, great song. God Bites His Tongue, great song. Like, All I See Is War, up until that point, which I thought was like yesterday, was one of their best CDs in a long time. Not original, actually, strangely enough, kind of an original take for them at the very least on a slow song. I really dig it. Risen, cool song as well. Life Deceives You. This has one of my favorite parts by them. I wish I could play it. Maybe I can like sneak in a little clip of it and not get taken down by the YouTube police. But yeah, All I See Is War is a great CD, man. I think I'm gonna have to put it up here. It's not on Seasons and Cold Day Memory level at all, but it's close. It's close to being here. It's right here. Actually, no, it's not close. It's not close because this would have to go up, and then this would have to go up, and I'm not. No, actually, we're gonna do that. All I See Is War is definitely better than this. And then finally, we have Blood and Stone, the most recent CD last year. Hold on, let me make sure. I'm pretty sure this CD came out on my birthday of 2020. I didn't even know. How did I not know? And they had a live show and everything, and I just missed all of it, which sucks because I really like this CD. I really like it a lot. Love is probably my favorite song on the CD. No, that's not true. Criminal is my favorite song. Love is probably second, though. Dying to Live and Blood from the Stone both have really, really cool riffs. It's nice to kind of go back to those like memorable riffs that Sevendust had for me. Nothing Left to See Here Anymore. It's got a really cool vibe, swingy vibe. Day I Tried to Live. I don't know the original song, so doesn't do a whole lot for me, but clearly it does something for some people. And yeah, man, feels like going on. A lot of the CD is really, really good, and it's pretty easy to listen to. It makes 50 minutes almost feel pretty short. So I'm gonna say Blood from a Stone is, ooh, this is hard. It's definitely an A tier. It's definitely up here. But where? It's not there. This is at the bottom of the A tier. Bonfires. I think it's better than All I See Is War. Maybe. Look at the track list again. No, it's not. I think it's here. Do we want to make any last revisions to this? Super comfortable with Seasons being an S tier. Cold Day Memory is the surprising one for me, but it earns its spot here at S tier. Animosity, I almost want to move it up. I think I will. Yeah. Animosity, it's just, again, it's kind of the same thing with Seasons. Not all of it is like amazing, but the songs that are amazing are like untouchable amazing. These two definitely deserve to be A tier. I don't know. This is hard, man. I think I'm gonna switch these two. Yeah. And then we're gonna put that here. This it just keeps moving down. I'm just like, it's almost unfair to judge Time Travelers and Bonfires because it is only 6 new songs as opposed to some, like all of these which are full albums. But I'm comfortable with it being here. I think the 6 that are in this CD are of higher quality than like my 6 favorite songs on Kill the Flaw. I think that's how I can justify that, yeah. So, yeah, I think I'm pretty cool with this. I'm pretty content. We got Seasons, Cold Day Memory, Animosity in the S tier. All I See Is War, Blood and Stone, and Alpha in the A tier. We got Black Out the Sun, Time Travelers and Bonfires, and Kill the Flaw in the B tier, mid. Home, Next, Chapter 7 in the C tier, and then Self-Titled in the D tier, not because it's bad, just because it's old and weird. Yeah. So, hopefully that was, I don't know, enjoyable to watch. Maybe you hated it because you just disagreed with everything I say. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. But anyway, this is my first video back in years. Feels weird, man. Yeah, let me know what you thought. I guess